Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Engineer Sam Wasapi. So in this video, we'll be looking at a problem involving fluid viscosity. So before we begin, do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Alright, so the question reads, a plate of 0.05 millimeter distance from a fixed plate moves at 1.2 meter per second and requires a force of 2.2 Newton per meter squared to maintain this speed. Find the viscosity of the fluid between the plates, as you can see from the schematic there. Now, let us recall something. We need to remember that the shear stress is directly proportional to the velocity gradient. With this said, if we apply our algebra, then the viscosity mu will be equal to the shear stress times dy over du. With this formula in mind, we can then collect data. Let us first find our dy. dy is the change in depth. So we have y final minus y initial. In our question, we have been given the literal value of dy, but I need us to remember that dy is always a change in depth. So y final is 0.05 minus initial, which is like at the fixed plate where there is a zero distance, which is 0. This gives us 0.05 millimeters. Now we need to convert the millimeters to meters. So we say dy is equal to 0.05 times 10 to the minus 3, which is the same as dividing by 1,000. If we compute this, we have 5 by 10 to the minus 5 meters. The next value we can find is du, which is a change in velocity, where we say velocity final minus velocity initial. Velocity final is 1.2, velocity initial is 0, giving us 1.2 meters per second. Other than that, we also need to find the shear stress. Shear stress is force over area. So every time you have a question, always understand what you have been given as your values by always looking at the units you have at hand. In the question, it says, a plate of 0.05 millimeter distance from a fixed plate moves at 1.2 meters per second and requires a force of 2.2 newtons per meter squared. Now, when we say newtons per meter squared, we're like illustrating exactly what the shear stress is, because it's force over area. Force is newtons, area is meter squared. So the value given in question is the shear stress, which is 2.2 newtons per meter squared. Having these values, all we have to do is to plug and chug in the formula that we have here. So the viscosity is equal to the shear stress that we have as 2.2 multiplied by dy, which is 5 times 10 to the minus 5, divided by du, which is 1.2. If we compute this on our calculators, we'll have 9.17, that is if we round off, times 10 to the minus 5 newtons per second per meter squared. So this will be our value, that is in newton second per meter squared for our viscosity. But if at all we were told to write our value in poise, all we have to do is to multiply what we have, 9.17 by 10 to the minus 5 newton second per meter squared by 10. Therefore, we'll have our viscosity as 9.17 by 10 to the minus 4 poise. This will be our value. Thanks for watching. If you have any queries, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp on the line +260 77 149 5252. Remember, slow progress is better than no progress, and let's strategize for upcoming statistic. Let's try to push for that A plus.